Hi, my name is Amirul Naim bin Yusuf. You can call me Naim. I'm from campus Seremban 3. My student number is 2018407166. I'm from semester 5, class NSR 1115A. Today, my friend and I will present about orienteering.
My name is Azmira Shazuna binti Azmi. I am a sports science and recreation student from UiTM Seremban 3. My student ID is 2018426536. I am now currently a semester 5 student and my class group is NSR 1115A.
Orienteering is a competitive form of land navigation. It is for all age and degrees of fitness and skill. It provides the suspense and excitement of a treasure hunt. Next, orienteering is a sport in which orienteer use an accurate, detailed map and a compass to find points in the landscape. It can be enjoyed as a walk in the woods or a competitive sport. Began in Scandinavia in the 19th century, it was primarily a military event and was part of military training. It was until 1919 that the modern version of orienteering was born in Sweden as a competitive sport. Ernst Kilander is the creator, or as you can know, he's the father of orienteering. In the early 30s, the sport received a technical boost with the invention of a new compass, more precise and faster to use. So we have four types of orienteering. First, road orienteering. Second, line orienteering. Third, cross-country orienteering. And last, score orienteering. The orienteering course is marked in purple or red in a map. Next, a triangle is used to indicate the start and a double circle indicate the finish. Circles are used to show the control point. Listed equipment in orienteering is orienteering map, orienteering compass, control flag or control marker, punch, control card, control description, whistle, and last red pen.
It's going to be hard to talk about how to use a compass without first understanding what all the different parts are for. So let's go through that real quick. This is the base plate. It's clear, so you can see the map below it. And there's always at least one straight edge that you'll use later for taking bearings. On the side, there are rulers that you can use along with your map scale to help you calculate distance. On top, you'll find a direction of travel arrow to remind you which direction to point the compass when you're taking a bearing. This big circle is the rotating bezel, which is marked with degrees from 0 clockwise up to 360. Above the bezel is a little marker called the index line, which marks where you'll read your bearings. Inside the bezel, the first thing you'll notice is the magnetized needle, which always points to the magnetic North Pole, not the true North Pole. We'll get into the difference in a minute. There's also a big arrow called the orienting arrow, which you'll use to help you orient the bezel. Alongside the orienting arrow are orienting lines that you'll use to help you line up the compass with north on a map. Finally, some compasses have a handy declination scale, which makes it easier to adjust declination. What's declination, you ask? Well, declination is the angle difference between true north and magnetic north. The needle in your compass will only point to magnetic north, so right now it's pointing to somewhere in northern Canada, not Santa's workshop. First off, a bearing describes a direction in terms of degrees. Bearings are way more precise than just saying go east or west. Instead, you can say to get to the lake, follow a bearing of 79 degrees. Start by finding your current location on the map. Let's say we're here. Now set your compass on the map so that the straight side of the base plate lines up with your position. Next, find the point you want to head toward. Let's say it's this peak. And rotate the entire compass until it forms a line between your position and your destination. Make sure the direction of travel arrow is pointing in the direction of the peak. Once the compass is in position, rotate the bezel until the orienting lines are lined up with north and south on the map. You can use the edge of the map to help you get the lines positioned just right. Remember to make sure that the north marker on the bezel is pointing to north on the map and not south. Hold the compass in front of you with the direction of travel arrow pointing away from you. Now rotate your whole body until the north side of the magnetized needle is inside the orienting arrow. If it helps, you can remember red in the shed. Once you've got red in the shed, you're facing the bearing of 188 and your destination.
Checks the control flag on the map. Once he's sure that he's at the right control, he punches his control sheet and that you punch the control into the correct slot on your control sheet, like Annika. Otherwise, you might not score your best. Annika punches her control sheet by putting the control sheet in between the red pinchers, lining up the control sheet so that it's under the correct box, and squeezing the red pinchers. This should make an imprint on your control sheet.
From the video, he tells us how to use control flag and punch. So before we start, we must know where to spot in the map. Okay, the control flag does marks the spot that is circled on the map. Is it made on fabric hang on a triangular board kite like wireframe? So Orienteer use the punch to impress the pattern made by the teeth onto a control kite. So at the finish line, the Orienteer hands the kite to the organizer, who verified that the punch pattern correspond to the correct control. Okay, uses of control kite is to make it easier for the organizer to verify that the correct control were visited. For my competition that I have known, I have to score all and spring all. For the score all, for example, an orientation event where participants are given a time limit, usually 1 hour, to collect as many control as possible. Any orders. Control typically have a point value, with more remote location having a higher value. Orienteers who exceed the time limit will accrue penalty points. For the second sprint O, a very fast pace orienteering event usually organized in an urban area or a non-technical terrain such as a park or university campus. Control are relatively easy to locate with a good road choice and running speed being the deciding factors in achieving the faster time. For the cost safety have control points, safety lanes, finish time, and last, search and rescue procedures.
There are a lot of advantages of learning orienteering activity. First, you can get a great workout. Get a great aerobic workout without the boredom of plodding along. With your mind focused on finding your way and reading the map, the time will fly by. Second, you can challenge your brain. Orienteering includes transferring the 2D map image into the 3D real world while solving the puzzle of which route to take. Add fatigue and speed to the mix, and you can see that it requires great concentration too. Next, explore nature. You are bound to discover some beautiful spots. Even familiar areas take on a new look when you venture off the trails. Then, you can learn valuable outdoor skills. Being able to read a map, use a compass, and make good route choices are invaluable for many other outdoor activities such as backpacking, biking, or backcountry skiing. You can also get fit for life. Whether you are 8 or 80, you can join the orienteering activity. Ages doesn't matter. And last but not least, you can get out as a family. Orienteering is flexible. Courses can be done as a group or individually. So, you can get out on one course with your 8-year-old while your teenager is challenged on another. Though orienteering provides a wide array of benefits, there are still disadvantages. Though orienteering provides a wide array of benefits, there are still disadvantages cited, yet on a limited number. Orienteering usually involves a lot of physical activities, which requires both strength and endurance. It is a competitive sport where participants find themselves thinking, running, and moving at a fast pace. The goal of winning sometimes interrupts the participant's mind to think over their safety as a priority, and would somehow result to unexpected injuries along the course, such as affect muscles, tendons, joints, or all that is mentioned. Wearing safety gears during orienteering is one of topmost importance and should be considered as a priority, putting into consideration the course which the participants will take, where it involves mostly parks and forests, where some environment factors might become a contributing cause for bruises, wounds, cuts, lacerations, and other incidents. Another reason why is orienteering requires the participant to learn navigating skills because the probability of getting lost is indeed right. The disadvantages of orienteering are lesser in comparison to the benefit it has in store for the participants. However, no matter how small in number these disadvantages are, it is important to take note about it to prevent it from occurring as much as possible. So far, we have learned about the history of orienteering, the types of orienteering, orienteering course, equipments that are needed for orienteering, how to use a compass, how to use a control flag and punches, usage of control card, format competition, course safety, and the advantages and disadvantages of orienteering activity. So I hope that you guys learn new things about orienteering in this video. Thank you and assalamualaikum.